much does it really cost to homeschool your kids? Homeschooling can be as inexpensive or as expensive as you want it to be. So I'm gonna give you examples of both ends of the spectrum. Least expensive would be free. Not even kidding you, there are free curriculums out there. There's an online one called Easy Peasy All-in-One. You print everything out for free. The Good and the Beautiful has some free resources. Depending on the state that you live in, you could choose to forego a curriculum altogether and just do kind of like a piece by piece Charlotte Mason style where you're going to the library and you're getting books from the library and you're doing unit studies. If you really want to be a little radical, you could do something called unschooling where you're not using a curriculum or structured plan necessarily. You're kind of just letting your kid lead the way and you're following their interests. Even with using a free homeschool curriculum or going the unschooling route, you are still gonna have some expenses that I feel like a lot of people don't account for. Number one is you're gonna be home with your kids most of the day. They're not going to school and having breakfast, snack, not at work, having lunch at work. So food costs have increased for us because our kids are snacking and eating at home all day long. Your electric bill might increase as well. Again, being home all day long, if you're coming from like your normal work schedule where your kids are at school all day long and you're at work all day long, now you're gonna be home, so your electricity bill is gonna go up. Again, even using a free homeschool curriculum, you are gonna have to put out money for extracurriculars if you choose to do that. But keep in mind, even if your kid's in public school and you wanna put them in extracurriculars, you're gonna have to pay out of pocket for that anyway. And a lot of local rec centers, states that have homeschooling scholarships, different homeschool co-ops, sometimes you can actually get your kids into these extracurriculars for very, very little money. Now let's talk about the opposite end of the spectrum, which would be the most expensive way of homeschooling. This would be like you're using a full-blown, usually an accredited curriculum is going to be more expensive. The most expensive curriculum, which we do love, but we just can't afford it, is a Becca, and they do have an accredited version as well. Also, joining homeschool co-ops that are going to cost you a lot of money. Like some co-ops are free or cost very little money, or you as the parent can teach a little class within the co-op, and so you don't have to pay for your kids. But if you're just joining like a well-known co-op, even Classical Conversations community that we used to be a part of, that was pretty expensive when you have multiple kids. So if you're combining a really expensive curriculum with a really expensive co-op and you've got your kids in multiple extracurriculars and you're not in a state that offers any kind of like homeschooling assistance or scholarships, that's going to be the most expensive way to homeschool. Now, I will tell you, we kind of fall somewhere in the middle. We do use legitimate homeschool curriculums that we pay out of pocket for. Our kids are in a Classical Conversations community, at least for this year, probably not next year. And we do have them in extracurriculars, some of which are covered by the Florida Homeschool Scholarship, but as of next year, we won't have that anymore. If you add up all of the money that we personally spend on curriculum, the extracurriculars, the co-ops, the extra food costs, and like the heightened electricity bills, we probably spend around $5,000 a year on homeschooling, and that is for 4 kids. Much cheaper than private school. But keep in mind, it does not have to be that expensive. You kind of pick and choose and make it how you want for your family.